Alright, here is the cement that I have. Also, if you have any of this is another very useful solvent, purple primer, OD for CPVC and PVC. It looks like you're supposed to put on 2 coats. I guess 2 coats isn't going to hurt it any. Like that. Put your cement on. I'm going to put it on both surfaces. Suppose there'll be some squeeze out. Orient your pliers correctly. And hold them together with the surfaces how you want them. Okay, just like that. Alright, well, this has been drying for about maybe 5 minutes, and during that time I was holding it together with these pliers, and I made sure that there was not any glue on the back where I need to glue it to the area where the pipe is going to be. So we'll just let that hang for a little while. Well, to make this even better, I decided to add another piece onto it, a 3rd piece. I'm taking off all the burrs from the sawing operation. I'm going to also start the torch again, start that process. I'm going to also sand the surfaces that are going to be joined. I'm going to use the purple solvent to help improve everything. So this joint and the inside are going to be joined together. So now this surface here is fairly smooth. I might need to do a little bit of refining here because some of the glue got on here at the top. So right now I gotta sand this surface. This glue is 3 years old. I mean, if you think that your glue isn't too good, go ahead and buy some new glue. Alright, now we're going to have to sand this, and we're going to have to take this piece right here, and we're going to have to sand the top of it. Got my 2 marks? No. Just connect them. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so it's going to set something like that, and then the pipe is going to come out this way. I'm going to have to measure the pipe that I have, which is this one right here. Best way to do that is with something like this. You can still buy these at Menards. They're made of brass now. Okay, now it's got 2 dimensions to it. This area up here is a little bit wider because that's to hold the pipe. And then this area down here is narrow. It's narrow, so it's about 3/8. So now we're going to have to take this and drill a hole all the way through so that the coolant can go through it. Okay, now this is the device I'm going to use to tap the hole. It's got sort of a clamp that clamps the tap in there. You have to make it large enough to put your tap in. The tap has four sides. It's going to look like that in the middle. So it's going to look like that in the middle once you get the tap in there. And then you have to tap it so that it's going to tap your hole. You try to get it so that it's setting in your vise so that the hole goes straight down in the way. Now we're ready to tap it. And it's at an angle, so that makes it a little bit difficult because, and since another thing is that I'm tapping plastic, and plastic tends to get the threads all messed up. So you have to start it carefully. Okay, make sure you go out the other end at the bottom here a little ways so that you get past the taper, and I'll show you that when I take this tap out. Yeah, if your tap just pokes through the other side and you think you're done, no, that's not right. Because it tapers at the beginning right here. And you got to get past that. About, in this case, it's about 1/4 of an inch or more. Okay, this is the area where I want to put this square receiver, and you have this area right here which is about 1/2 inch, and then this is about 1/4 of an inch, so that means I at least need at least 1/4 of an inch extra on this surface to make it come out level. Okay, here is the arrangement of how these are going to go on there. And this receiver is about 2 inches. And this area right here is about 2 inches. So they're going to go on there like this. And then this will be the same as how they're going to go on the truck. Now these are 1 inch, so this is going to place the receiver 1 inch down from the other receiver. Well, that's kind of a rough weld,
But I got it on, and you can see some of it over here. Oh, that's just a piece of angle iron. Now what I did was, under here, you can see that there's another piece of angle iron. And it's clamped to the first one that's on there. So we'll see how that works. Here's another view of the mount that I'm going to use, and this is the other sort of a rough weld, and then I'm going to weld down on the back here. On the back here, right there. Okay, one of the things that I'm going to have trouble with here is this is the receiver, this is the female receiver, and this is the male one right here. Well, it goes on both ends, but you take it out and it goes in pretty good. You can turn it a little bit, and it's a little bit tight that way, so one thing I did was I marked the top right here, and I also marked the front, which is right here. So when this is all together, it's going to fit in like this, since this is the front right here and this is the top here. So I got to make sure that it goes in pretty good. Now this this steel right here is 1.5 inches, and I can see right here it kind of gets hung up right here. So I'm going to sort of round that off. There, now I got a match set. And I had to weld this kind of uniquely because I had to come in here and weld this in here and then turn it over where this seam is and weld it in there. Then I had to do the same over here on this side, weld it in here where this seam is, and this seam right here, welded on the inside. So hopefully that'll work pretty good. And the next thing I have to do now is, I've got this pretty well set. I've got it marked. And the next thing we're going to have to do is come over here to this thing. So now I'm going to have to weld this under here like that, something like that. And I've got to have enough room for this receiver on the top and the bottom receiver too. So I'm going to have to sort of space it out. Okay, now I had to think about how I wanted to do this, and I wanted to make it adjustable somewhat. So I want to attach this, or I want to attach this up here. If I weld it, it's too permanent. But what I thought I could do is take this square nut, center it on this, and then weld this nut on there. And then drill a hole into this one, put it over this, and then I can use washers to adjust this up and down. And a little bit back and forth also. Okay, here's how this is going to go together. First of all, I got this threaded rod that fits into this nut. Then I have this where I drilled the holes in that, and then I'm going to put this nut on like that, and I'll run it all the way down. Also, in this piece of threaded rod, I put a slot in it in the top of it, so that I can put a screwdriver in there and hold it. Alright, this is in the right position. I've got the pin in this hitch right here. And then this is going to go over this bolt, and then I'm going to use the nut to hold this in the right position, and then I'll weld it, and then hopefully it'll all work together. We'll see.